This is Gary Johnson, then Torquay away. Gary, it's the first week of the season, but there hasn't been a midweek game. How much has that just sort of helped get a bit of rest, a bit of extra training, whatever you've needed into the players?
Yeah, I think it helps. The boys, I've managed to sort of get a day off this week, and that's always good, especially when it's only been 5 games, but it's been pretty hectic because it was in a short space of time and the start of the season and all that with the emotions and everything. So hopefully today we're back in and we can get into the sharpening up mode again, because they'd have had a little rest, and now we need to get them bubbling ready for the game on Saturday.
The managers always want more, so presumably having given them some time off, you can now ask them to go that extra mile again for you.
Yeah, we can. I think we're creating a little bit of competition now for places, which is good, and that will keep them lively, to be honest, because we have got a group of lads that like playing in the team. You know, they all want to play in the team. They're not footballers who don't like They're all footballers that like playing football, and because there are some footballers that don't like playing football sometimes, but we haven't got any of them, thank God. And so that will create that good competition, and hopefully over the bank holiday weekend we can pick up some points and get ourselves in the playoff positions at least.
And it's 2 games so close together. Do you have to look at them as a pair, or do you take each game as it comes?
Yeah, well, to use that well-used phrase, we will take each game as it comes, because you don't know A, how the game's going to go, B, whether there's going to be any injuries, whether someone's going to lose a bit of form or whatever. So you've got to look at it in the 2 days, as in your organisation and your travelling and what days you train and what days you have the cold baths and cold and hot recovery stuff. So you are putting them together, but each game is as it comes, so that you can see whatever happens at Torquay, then we'll have to adjust or keep it the same when we go to when we play at home to Wrexham.
And you talk about competition for places there. There was speculation before Barrow that you might make a change, but is that sort of more on your mind this time now that you've got that competition maybe?
It's always on your mind, because you want to keep a fully fit, motivated squad. That's the important thing. So you have to make sure that you don't upset too many people one way or another, because you don't want to lose them this early. But at the same time, all your decisions you make have got to be, you as a manager have got to be sure that the players understand those decisions that you're making, so that they trust you. That's the important thing. Now, everybody's going to be speculating sometimes about picking their team. Since these fantasy leagues have come in, everybody thinks they can pick a team, don't they? Including all our lads, because they're all in the fantasy, whatever it is. But so anyway, I'll do the job. I'll pick the team that I think will win the game coming up, and that's how I've always worked, and that's how I always will.
Aaron Downs, of course, going back to his old club on Saturday. I mean, presumably he's experienced enough to deal with anything that comes with that, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and I'm sure it won't faze him at all. He's not he's not going to be out to impress anyone. He's not going to be, well, other than me, of course, and us, but he's certainly not going back to Torquay to prove them wrong or anything like that, because he left of his own accord. He's out of contract, and Nick wanted to move on. They would have liked to have kept him, and we were lucky enough to get him nice and early. So he is experienced and adult enough to, and obviously he's our captain, to be nice and calm and make sure all the other lads are prepared and ready to go.
I suppose Torquay's the sort of club that Cheltenham don't want to turn into. Second season of the conference, and obviously budget cutbacks because of salary, the parachute payments have gone. So I suppose there's the motivation of what you don't want to turn into.
Yeah, I think so. The football club, there are teams on an upward spiral, and in the leagues, and there are teams on a downward spiral, and you have to make sure that you nip the downward one in the bud as quickly as you can. I think we did that pre-season with the positivity, as the chairman says, at the club, the players that we brought in. Everybody, I think, at Cheltenham feel they know the players now, and they're willing to get behind them, because I think they seem to like them and want them to do well. So you know, we're back on a little bit of an upward curve, but of course there's 41 games to go, and we'll know our fate then. But we've got to do all we can to make sure we're successful this year, and you know, we can all take the responsibility on our shoulders, but do the job every day and see where it takes us.
Any injury worries?
I don't think so. We've just got the two, Volney and Jordan Winter. They're still not quite ready yet, and we have James Bowen, who's probably going to be going. Well, he is. He needs games now, so he's going out to Gloucester with Hanksy, because I need these lads playing their game so that after 28 days, if I need them, I'll know they're game ready, because they'd have played some games, and B is a 28-day callback if we need to anyway. So after that 28 days, we've got a few lads out there that we can call back, and we're getting to that stage. Touch wood, we haven't had too many injuries at the moment, so I could go with a small first-team squad at this moment in time.
And I know you want people not to be shrinking violets anyway, but how useful is it if you've got a couple of youngsters going out to the same club that actually, you know, that might just be a help to both of them?
Yeah, it will. I try and get them in pairs. You know, when we sent Bobby and Harry to Farnborough, it was because I wanted them to travel together. I wanted them to work together. They're a good partnership anyway. They complement each other in their game. Unfortunately, Farnborough have had this embargo or whatever it is over their heads, but I think that's going to come away now. But at least the lads have played games. They've still been playing games. And the same with Hanksy and Bowen. It's good that you know, they're playing together, because it's also good that, you know, if Gloucester are going to be playing on our pitch, then it may as well be with a couple of our players, and then they can get those players, you know, get comfortable with their surroundings, and obviously it's a home game for them every other week, so it works out well, and you know, we're grateful to Gloucester, and I'm sure they're grateful to us. So it's a good little working relationship there on that situation.
And is that the only business you expect before 6 o'clock on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think so. As far as we're not like the big boys where you can't do anything after August the 31st. Yeah, that's right. So, but we can still go out and get emergency loans and etc. So it's not such a problem for us teams. But I don't see us, you know, having any transfers as such. You know, I think those days are probably gone.
So I'm not going to have to interview you through your car window then?
I don't think so, no. I won't wind it down anyway, so I'll just say, drive off.
Cheers, Gary. Thank
No
you.
problem.
Good luck.
Gary, just wondered, with the two games so close together, will you be sort of looking to rotate the squad, do you think?
Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll wait to... Players don't like the rotation system, if you ask them. They like to play in a game, and if they've done well, they want to play in the next game, albeit 2 days later. People may understand if you do make a change, but my change is generally through form as opposed to resting them. I think, you know, in my day we used to play sort of 2 or 3 games a week and train hard, and you know, so over the years people have felt that 2 games in a short space of time is impossible. Well, it's not impossible, and also it's happening to the other teams as well. I don't think there'll be a lot of teams at our level that can make a lot of changes, so everybody's really going to be in the same boat. So for me, I'll pick the team that does well against Torquay, and if it does well, then I may pick the same team. If I make a couple of changes, they'll be for a couple of either tactical or injury reasons.